Did you just get an Instant Pot for Christmas and it's still sitting in the box? Oops. And I won't specify if it was this last Christmas or last Christmas. Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, I'm not going to do any cooking. I'm just going to share with you the top 5 things new Instant Pot owners need to know before they start using their Instant Pot. I'm Lisa Childs. I'm an Instant Pot expert. I have an Instant Pot cookbook, an Instant Pot based food blog, and I've been teaching people how to have confidence using their Instant Pots on YouTube since 2019. So these are the top 5 things I would tell any friend to just come over. Let me just tell you a couple things before you get started and you will feel a lot better. I also have a library of resources to help you get started with tons of more in-depth videos, a cleaning guide, and lots of videos on do's and don'ts of using your Instant Pot. So let's just get started. If your Instant Pot is still in the box or you just haven't used it in a really long time, there's probably a couple reasons why. Number one, you're probably not used to pressure cooking. You don't know what it is, and so you don't know how to use it. Here's the first thing I would tell any of my friends who are scared to use their Instant Pot. So the first thing is that there is a slight learning curve. However, once you get over that learning curve, you will feel so confident. The first people who ever got microwaves or convection ovens, they probably didn't quite know how to work it. They were probably nervous, but this is the same concept. It's really simple once you just understand some of the key fundamental cooking techniques and the functionality of this device. So rest assured, not all hope is lost. You can totally do this. The next thing I want to tell you is just what it is. So an Instant Pot is an electric pressure cooker. That means that it is a standalone appliance. It's not a stovetop pressure cooker where you put it on the stove, it boils, it whistles, and there's a risk of exploding. I know pressure cookers have a bad rap because of that, but this is incredibly safe. There are tons of safety measures, and as long as you follow them, you will be just fine and you will be really safe. An electric pressure cooker cooks food with heat and steam and pressure. So how it works is you put your food in the Instant Pot. You always have to add some kind of liquid because that's how it creates steam to create the pressure to cook the food really quickly. So let me explain it like this. It's just like if you were boiling something on the stove. So you have liquid and food in this pot and you put a lid on that pot. The only difference is that the pressure cooker seals in all of that pressure, all of that steam, all that boiling energy, and then it squeezes it into the food. So that's why things cook really quickly. Because of this, the heat inside of the appliance gets really hot really fast, and so it can cook things really efficiently. So point number one, this is an electric pressure cooker. It's extremely safe and it cooks your food really fast. But the only thing is you need to remember that it uses liquid and steam to cook your food. Which leads me to my next point, which is what the Instant Pot is not. The Instant Pot is not an oven, it's not a microwave, it's not an air fryer. However, there are some that have attachments or that turn into air fryers. However, this cooks with liquid. So that means that nothing you make in the Instant Pot is going to come out crispy or dry or baked on its own. So the Instant Pot does have a slow cook feature. However, I don't recommend using that feature. It's not as powerful as a traditional crock pot or slow cooker, but it's kind of the opposite of a slow cooker because what it does is instead of cooking at a lower temperature for a long period of time, it cooks at a high temperature for a very short amount of time. But also know that this is not a pressure fryer. A lot of restaurants make their fried chicken or their other fried foods in a pressure fryer, but if you try and fry in this, you will probably have a fire, so please don't try and do that. There are some ways that this appliance is similar to a slow cooker in that everything is all in one pot and you can have one pot meals that cook really quickly. However, there are a few key differentiating factors that I love about the Instant Pot. Number one being the saute feature. So in a lot of crock pot recipes, you'll see recipes that ask for cooked ground beef that you have to make on the stove and then you transfer over to the crock pot or slow cooker and then you cook the rest of your ingredients. This has a built-in stove top because you can just put it on saute, you can saute your meat in there first and then you can pressure cook. Anyway, that's getting into more advanced territory than I planned on. You can watch my Instant Pot do's and don'ts video right here for more tips like that. The next thing that you need to know about using your Instant Pot is that the cook times listed in recipes does not necessarily mean the entire time you're going to be cooking. That's because there are two two crucial stages before and after the pressure cooking that you need to be aware of. Think of it like a preheat and a cool down. So when you put something in the Instant Pot and you set the designated time, then it starts cooking. That's when it starts to warm up the liquid and the pot, and in order for it to start pressure cooking, there needs to be enough liquid and steam to get that pressure. So there's going to be a little bit of an extra time period that you're going to have to wait for that liquid to boil and create the steam. This time is not calculated in the cook time. So for example, if you're cooking something for 5 minutes on high pressure, you'll put 5 minutes, but then you'll probably have to wait about 5 to 10 minutes for the Instant Pot to come to pressure. It's just like in a recipe where you're baking something and it says to bake something for 10 minutes. Well, you're going to have to preheat the oven first, and that usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes as well. So that's an additional time that you need to factor into your Instant Pot cooking. On the other end of the cooking time is the pressure release time. So since there's a ton of pressure in this, it's just like a soda bottle. If you shake up a soda bottle and you want to open it immediately, you can't quite do that unless you want it to like spurt out everywhere, right? So what you need to account for is that there's going to be a couple minutes of time where you're going to have to let this naturally release the pressure or quickly release the pressure. For an Instant Pot, if you have something in here that has a lot of liquid, a lot of pressure, a lot of steam, like a soup, then that's going to take a long time. If you're going to do a full natural pressure release, it's going to take about 20 minutes or so, depending on how much food you have in here. And if you do a quick release, so it's like taking that soda bottle, shaking it up, and just ripping that cap off, letting all that gas and air escape, that's going to take a couple minutes as well, usually about 2 to 3 minutes depending on how much liquid and steam is in your pot. So it's just something that you need to keep in mind when you're preparing dinner and when you're reading your recipes, is there's going to be a little bit more time up front to get the pot to pressure, then the cook time. Then at the very end, depending on the release type for the recipe, it's going to take a couple minutes as well. So just keep these things in mind when you're starting to cook. You don't want to ruin dinner by having it get on the table 2 hours late. The last thing I would tell any friend when they say, you know, I just don't know what to do with my Instant Pot, there's just so many different buttons, there's so many different recipes, I don't know where to start, is literally just start. Just pick a good recipe that sounds good to you, follow the instructions to a T, and I guarantee it will be just fine. There really is no perfect beginner recipe. Honestly, I think something like mashed potatoes, hard-boiled eggs, rice, those are really simple and easy things because they don't take a lot of time. There's not a lot of ingredients. But if you just want to jump in and just make something, just pick a recipe off of my website and make it. I promise you just need to use it once in order to kind of get a feel for it, and then you'll have more confidence the next time you use it. So thanks for visiting my kitchen. I hope those top 5 tips just help you kind of ease you into Instant Pot cooking. Make sure you watch my Instant Pot 101 series. It's right here at the playlist of tons of Instant Pot tips, beginner guides, but these are just the top couple things that I think everyone needs to know before they start, and hopefully it will give you the confidence to take it out of the box. Okay, thanks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.